I want them to be besties so fucking bad.
Me too.
Like, sorry to you, Dragon Boy, but like you're gonna have to be number 2 because like this friendship, I need it.
Okay, but I love Dragon Boy. I'm okay with like a three-man friendship.
Threesome.
A three. Oh, yes.
Innocent one.
Not so innocent one. I'm down for too. Bonus points if Dragon Boy is a dragon.
Well, he's a big ass dragon. That ain't gonna fit nowhere.
Oh, true. Okay, never mind. I revoke that.
Everyone, welcome back to Romancing the Monsters, and welcome back, more specifically, to the third part in our Love Between Fairy and Devil discussion. I'm Em.
Hi, I'm S.
I'm Seff.
And before we dive into today's episode, I feel like there's just a little bit of housekeeping to do. Just a few reminders at the beginning of the episode, because I'm sure not everyone listens to the outro, which I cannot blame you after 2 hours of listening to us. But if this is your first episode you've ever listening to, or you're new to the podcast, or you've been listening to it for a while, whatever it is, if you're not subscribed yet, please do that if you want to. It's just very helpful to us. A lot of our listeners are actually not subscribed. And also, if you want to interact with us, of course, you can go anywhere on social media. We love it. But I have to say, YouTube is a great platform for that. If you have a comment that you want to make, I would suggest you go to YouTube, because it's way easier for us to engage and reply and such. So yeah, just a reminder, YouTube, go over there, subscribe on whichever platform you use. All right, so today, we watched episodes 17 to 24. A lot happens in these episodes, so hopefully this won't be too long, but I really can't tell you just how long it's gonna take, because there's a lot to get through. Do we have any thoughts, I guess, first? Did you have any emotions?
Well, other than I'm fucking dumb.
Right. Okay, we'll get to that afterwards. Us?
Okay.
I was really giddy throughout these episodes.
Yeah, I was too.
And I might need some clarification on a storyline later on.
We'll try to provide. I can't.
Yeah.
Personally, these episodes were fucking awesome. There were some real emotional highs in them and some real emotional lows as well. And yeah, I saw a lot of things that I was really excited to finally see, because obviously we had been anticipating to get there at some point, and a lot of character moments that are very important and very appreciated, and I'm excited to talk about them. Seff, why are you dumb?
For the longest time, I thought, and I don't know, I'm pretty sure you girls thought too, Chong Hong, I thought, was supposed to be marrying the reincarnation of the first god of war. Yeah. What's her name? Chitty?
I don't remember her name.
Anyways, the one that imprisoned Shinsung.
Right. The one that sacrificed herself to
Yeah. Anyways, that one. So I was under the impression that he was waiting to marry her reincarnation. Yeah, but actually, it's this a goddess that disappeared that he was supposed to marry, and they don't know where she is. But he's waiting for her to return.
Who is that person then?
So do you remember those?
We care?
So the whole it clicked when we they're oh yeah, he's supposed to marry this goddess of, I can't pronounce it. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Is she the one at the end? The one that towards the end?
No, but we saw
lady, the one that was a dancer.
The courtesan?
Like very...
No. That's the reincarnation. I'm talking about the.
That's who we thought he was supposed to marry.
That's who I thought. But it's
okay.
You see it in Wrong How with the flashback, where like the kid goes missing or something.
So that's what I need clarification. Like, who is that little girl, and then who is the one, the very delicate the dancer?
But that little girl is Lan Hua.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So now we know that.
So he was always supposed to marry Lan Hua then.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hold on.
God.
Let me put it in the chat, Marge, and see if you can help me how you pronounce it.
That makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah.
I cannot help you out, girl. I'll try. I'll try and I will fail. Shishin? I don't know.
Anyways, that one. We're doing such an awful job here. But anyways, I was just under the impression, and we went through 2 episodes thinking that that's who he's supposed to marry, and I'm sorry for that. It's a lie.
Well, it's never too late, right, to fix our mistakes. This is also usually when we do media like this, like a TV show or whatnot, we record after we've seen the whole thing.
Yes.
So usually we're aware of the whole story as we are discussing each and every episode. The difference now is that we're not doing that, so we will inevitably make mistakes, misunderstand certain things, and hopefully by the end of, by the last episode in the series, we will finally understand everything, which, the jury's still out on that one.
Let's hope. There's 3 of us. Come on, we have to understand it.
Oh, the power of our brains. It's just we have one brain cell, though.
All 3 of our brains make one brain.
They make one brain with one brain cell. So
yeah. All right.
Episode 17. So basically, where episode 16 ended, or at least where we left off, is that Lan Hua made it her mission to heal Jin Song's love tree, basically. And she had a theory that it wasn't the whole truth. Like, what she heard about, him killing his dad and blah, 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 that wasn't the whole truth. So basically, that episode ends with her kind of going on a mission to figure out what happened. So episode 17 opens with that. Her, Dragon Boy, and Jelly all go to this forbidden room in his little castle thing in the desert.
A little castle.
And so they're looking for a book, an old book, that has been hidden, that supposedly was turned into ashes. And they find the book.
Yeah.
And she's like, well, a book is made of trees in it. And she's like, I can heal just about anything, can't I? So she fixes the book. And what did she learn from the book? I don't remember exactly what.
Wasn't it the whole the ritual on how to contact the dead?
Was it that, or was it the whole prophecy thing of how one comes to have hellfire? I feel like that's what she found. She finds something.
Could have been either. Could have been both.
Could have been both.
Yeah.
Could have been neither.
So sorry. This sounds so bad.
But meanwhile, Jing Song is kind of running around trying to be as evil as he possibly can.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Because he's still very much freaked out by the fact that his tree has bloomed.
It's fully restored at this point.
Well, not fully, but it's blooming.
It's getting there.
Okay, fine.
It's getting
blooming
there. So that freaks him out. So he's trying to be as evil as he possibly can, and he also puts himself back into that coffin-like thing that he was in as a child when his father sort of ripped away all his emotions and love and blah blah blah. He puts himself back into that thoughts.
That was sad.
It broke my heart.
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you see he's obviously feeling his emotions, and he feels like he has to do this to get rid of his emotions, but it's causing him more pain because he obviously his experience as a child, and he's just like reliving his trauma and experiencing this pain again. So it was just really sad.
Like, it's a form of torture. Like, he's self-torturing himself in that moment to try to, like, eradicate all emotions again. But it ain't working, innit?
No.
It ain't working. Orchid discovers that the reason why his father did what he did is because Ching Sung is actually the only one who can wield the Hellfire.
Mm-hmm.
And we learn that his father was actually heartbroken to do it. Like, he wasn't, because remember back when we learned that he was like, oh, why you? And obviously Chin Sung, thought that he meant that as in, like, you're such a disappointment, like, I wish it wasn't you. And it was more like, I wish it wasn't you because I actually love you and I don't want to do this to you, but unfortunately you're the only one who can do that and save our people and, like, take back, what was stolen from us and, like, be the savior of the moon tribe. The savior of the moon tribe. So that's what she finds. Is there anything you want to talk about? Anything else in that episode before we get to, like, the ending part? Like, when she goes off?
Yes. So when he's in the tomb, does Orchid not feel his pain?
No, it's
she
only
has
one-sided.
Well, yeah, it's only one-sided. That yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna say it's the hair.
The hairpin, no, but it's...
No, you're right. It's one-sided. It's always been one-sided, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, I was wondering.
I wonder, I mean, I know why it's one-sided, but it's interesting because we're so used to bonds like this being, both sides.
Both sides.
But, I mean, it's obvious that, like, one of them has to do the emotional journey and not the other one, but, yeah. So, no, she doesn't. But what she does do, however... and I fucking loved it. She goes off and she is like, I'm gonna save my husband because he won't save himself. And I cannot tell you the fucking thrill and rush I get when a woman in a piece of media or a book or whatever, when it's like that trope where it's like saving my husband type trope, like even if they're not married, you get my point.
Yeah.
They're spiritually married. The fates have married them. Like, I love it. I can't explain it. It's just something. It does something to me. It speaks to my soul on a level that I just can't even comprehend. Like, she goes off and she's like, I'm gonna do this for him because I love him and he deserves it and he's not gonna do it himself, and I will fucking retrieve my husband from the depths of hell where he has fucking put himself.
Okay, in translation, she does this by resurrecting this rare flower and using this flower to go to, like, I don't even know what it's called, like whatever spirit world,
water vortex that she like swims through and then like finds this like hidden ghost world type thing.
It was really cool.
It was so fucking cool. I was levitating.
Guys, I just thought of a situation. What in case one of them dies and they have to go to this world?
Why would you say that?
Stop, that's so sad. We have enough sadness as it is.
Just like, don't speak it out into the world. Like, don't put it out there.
I live for angst, so if that happens, I'd be grateful. I'd be happy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm fully anticipating someone to die because they always fucking do.
Yeah, and then they come back somehow.
And then they get reincarnated like 5 minutes later, but yeah. So spirits are just like running around. I mean, not every spirit, I guess, like important spirits from the moon tribe is my guess. So his father's spirit is there.
Yeah. And you can only speak to them as like the plant is burning. Yeah. So she makes it there, and also Shinsong makes it there as well.
Well, yeah,
to bring her back.
She makes it there first, and then he hears about it. He's supposed at this moment in time to be executing his brother.
Right, because he thinks this will help him feel no emotion.
Yeah, but just before he is about to do it, he hears from Jelly that that's where she is, so he runs off to retrieve his wife. And he is so pissed, and I fucking loved it. I fucking loved it. But here starts the confrontation, if you will, between
here starts the tears.
Chinsong and his father. And we are at episode 18.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, oh boy. This episode.
Can I just say, this dad, cool story, but it was still emotional manipulation.
Yeah, I mean, like, not Father of the Year, like, for sure.
Yeah.
You know, ain't gonna win any awards. But...
No, but he was still doing it from the grave. I was like, can you shut up already? Like, clearly your kid's hurt. Okay, I'll explain what happened. So basically, episode 18 starts and his father basically tries to tell him that he had to do what he had to do. And for our people to survive, I had to rip out your emotions. And, you know, if you kill your loved one, you will completely kill all your emotions. In that moment versus it taking like 1,000 years or something to do so. So that's why he did what he did, and that's why he chose to die by his son's sword. And he's basically trying to convince his son again to kill his loved one so you can, you know, produce hellfire and save the people, because that's all you should be doing.
Yeah.
Broke my heart.
Some episodes or scenes or moments in fiction, I feel like you will remember for a while, and I feel like this episode had a lot of them for me personally. Like, I don't know, like, I can't tell you how much the emotions hit on every level. Like, Dylan's performance in this episode in particular was just so good. Basically, as you sort of said, like, he's given the opportunity to kill his father once again, sort of like destroy his soul, and he doesn't do it, and he has this fucking amazing speech, I guess you would say, monologue, where basically he says that. And it's a turning point. It's a turning point because up until now, he's been saying the exact opposite. Like, everything he's been doing was to eradicate those specific memories from, you know, his mind, because it was painful. And at this moment, what does he say, Seff?
So basically, his father is like, do you want to live with the pain of killing your father? Like, do you want to live with this guilt?
Because his father is goading him. He's like, kill me. Because, like, you need to regain power. You need to have your hellfire. You need to bring back our dynasty. Yeah.
So Shinsong basically tells him he would rather bear the pain of killing his father and the pain of emotions than not feel anything at all.
Well, he says a lot more than that.
Okay, well, that's the line I picked up. But, like, that was, like, his end point. And that's where, like, yeah, I was like, you know what? I love you. And I've always loved you. But, like, right now, I really love you.
Yeah. I mean, it's so important for him to come to realize that it's, like, there will always be pain. But the pain means that you loved. Like, the pain means that you had moments of joy, or otherwise you wouldn't have the pain. Right. You'd be just emotionless and just, you know, cold. But you cared and you loved your father and you had to kill him and you have to live with the pain of killing your father. But now that means that, you know, you get to keep also the memories of the good times that you had with him.
And I loved how it was done, like, with the flashbacks of, like, you know, him and his father kicking the ball and, like, just his happy moments of his childhood. And then, like,
kicking of the ball.
But I love that he didn't kick it in the end. I was like, you go, boy.
I mean, I did, and I was also really sad, like, because it wasn't, like, full closure in that way, you know.
I think it was closure within himself. He was allowed to recognize that I did what I did, and I do feel guilt, and I do feel pain. But again, it was like, it was manipulation at its finest. Like, it was just like he realized that what he did in the past wasn't right, but he's willing to go forward. And it wasn't a situation of his own choosing. Like, it was done for him. He never really had a choice.
I don't see it that way. Destroying his soul, yes. That would have been playing right into the manipulation and being like, you're right, I should do this, and I'll kill you again, blah, blah, blah. To me, the ball kind of represents the acknowledgement of the good times. Like, I don't want that father that's asking me to kill him again. I don't agree with that side of you, but there was this other side of you, which it can't, like, you can't just pretend it wasn't there, you know? So, like, to me, the kicking of the ball was kind of just, like, acknowledging, like, let's close this door, you know? Like, we had some good memories, and let's close it at that, you know? But he doesn't do it, which to me kind of tells me, but you're right, you know, it's, like I said, I'm kind of, like, on the fence about it. Like, a part of it, I'm like happy that he didn't kick it back, because it's kind of like, yeah, like you said, like he's taking back all agency and like fully being like, no, like I'm making this decision for myself, and I'm fully cutting, you know, the ties, and I'm just letting it go, and I don't need to indulge you in this. But like I said, there's the other side for me where it's like an acknowledgement of what was, you know.
What do you think, S?
I think it made me sad at the fact that I thought he was going to kick it for his younger self.
Exactly. Yeah. Like his younger self.
That's what I thought was going to happen, but
I don't know. I just feel like he reflected on like all the sad times too. Like when he was like, he like had this instrument, he was gonna play his father's song, and like he found out in that episode that like the father broke it, but he also repaired it. And it was just like all those instances where he's like reflecting back on it, and he's like, why? Like, why should I repair this? Because what, you're dead? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like it's also such an important scene just because I think it shows him who he's becoming. Someone who would be willing to hurt those he loves for the sake of something else, like for the sake of a kingdom or for the sake of the cause or whatever you want to say it. And I think he's realizing in that moment that he doesn't want to be that person, but also can't be that person. Like, he can't repeat what's happened to him, because if he was to continue down the route that he's taking, he would become his father to his own son eventually. Yeah. He would have to be. He would, like, whoever has the Hellfire he would have to treat him the same way.
I'm sure there has to be another way to use the Hellfire. Like, there has to be another way.
I don't know. We'll see. So he goes back to, what's it called? His like kingdom, his like desert.
Isn't it the Kagan Sea or something like that?
Oh no, is that something else? Like, that's where his soldiers are frozen.
Oh. No, isn't that where they live?
I don't know. Anyways. He goes back home.
Yeah.
With his wife, you know, dragging her back.
Calling her his wife. They're not officially married in any way.
They're married spiritually.
Okay, spiritually married.
Anyway, he brings her back, and his brother is taking his punishment, which is lightning strikes. And halfway through, or not even halfway through, before we even reach the halfway point, Xing Song is like, I will take the reminder of the lightning strikes. And he rips.
Okay, that was hot.
I was like,
I was not prepared.
The sounds that just left my body. I was hot under the collar, if you get what I mean. The way he does that.
My mom was asleep on the chair. She knocked out. Me and my dad were watching, and I was like, wow.
It's so angsty, too. Like, it kind of reminded me of, not Zuko. What the fuck is his name? Last Airbender.
Zuko.
Fire
Why
Boy.
are you making me question this?
It's not Zuko. What the fuck is his name? Oh my god, we love him. How could we forget?
Fake fans.
It's Katara, Zutara, right? That's their ship name, Zutara.
Zuko! Why are you like killing me here? It's Zuko.
It is Zuko.
Yes.
Is it? Okay, so it is. I got it right. Anyway,
I'm not a fake fan.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not either, because obviously my conscious self knew it was Zuko. Okay.
Okay, that's what you're second guessing. Fake fan.
All this to say, that moment reminded me of Zuko for some reason. I don't know if Zuko has maybe a moment.
He had a scene, not where he ripped off his shirt. It was just like and then like the birds were flying. Yeah. Yeah.
That's why. Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, that was fucking hot.
But the hair, like, on his back, I love his hair, guys. Long hair has all rights right now, and I am living for it.
All the rights, like men. Men. I'm talking directly to men who are like 1% of our listeners. Men. Please grow your hair out.
But it has to be like that and that healthy.
Yeah.
So if you need tips on how to oil your hair, hit me up.
It has to be, you know, taken care of. Like, we don't want no like grubby ass long hair, okay? Like, beautiful, polished hair. Thank you.
That billows in the breeze.
Bring it back. Bring it back. Yeah, yes. Yeah. Bring it back.
Anyways.
Honest to say, we get this really angsty scene where lightning is happening. He's taking the punishment for his brother. That brother.
Bad vibes.
Yeah.
Bad vibes.
You're watching your fucking brother take this lightning for you in your stance. And, like, you can tell he's faking it. He's faking the, like, sadness.
Like, I get it. I get
no,
it.
I see no sadness.
I don't fucking get it. What do you get?
No, there's no sadness. He still hates his brother. He's like, you killed my dad for no reason. And he's like...
But Lanhua literally shows him the memories. Like, she shows him his brother wasn't...
She's like,
he
you know
still
what?
doesn't change his mind.
No, he does. He does.
I don't fucking trust him. No, he's still fucking planning shit.
I don't trust him either. I'm just saying, after he saw the memories of, like, the conversation, like, because, you know, my girl Lanhua was like, here you go, shut up, and, like, gave it to him, and it was so cute, by the way. I love her. Yeah, he did change a little bit. He just didn't know how to act around his brother, like, believing that his brother, you know, he just thought his brother killed the father just to kill him.
Yeah, well, I still don't I don't trust that.
I don't trust him either.
I don't trust, like, I fully think he's still holding on to that fucking grudge.
Oh my gosh.
Because that's all he has in his sorry ass fucking life.
Yep.
Bitch.
Yeah. And that whole, like, thing with the sword, like, I know it's next episode where, Shinsong was like, get rid of it. Yeah. I'm thinking the brother kept it all.
He fucking kept it to kill his brother. Like, he's gonna fucking do
or
kill her.
To kill Orchid. Whenever he finds out what it's for, I really think he's gonna use it to kill Orchid.
Anyways, what we do get after this is probably, and this is what I mean when I say, like, a scene you'll probably remember for a really long time. Oh my god, I cannot tell you the emotions I went through. So after this, Shinsong goes to the exact same room where Lanhua found the old book with, like, you know, all the info in it. He goes back there and he's on his knees looking at the little, like, ball thing, right?
Yeah.
That he was kicking back and forth with his father as a kid. He found the actual, you know, ball. Or was it the actual? Anyway, we don't care. He's on his knees and he is crying. But, like, sobbing. And I need everyone to know that there is something so powerful, and I've said this, I think it was Bridgerton season 2. There's something so incredibly powerful and important in seeing a man cry and, like, actually experience his emotions, especially a man like Shinsong, who is very much the embodiment of, like, your alpha male, you know, like, fully repressing all emotions all the time. To see that man finally fucking break down into sobs and, like, letting himself live his emotions. Oh my god. And that is thanks to the female gaze, because that could not happen in this way any other way.
And I love that it wasn't, like you said, it was a full out, like, sob session. Like, it wasn't all, like, quote unquote manly like tear that was shed. Like, I just felt like it was so
like,
well done.
He's, like, shaking crying on his knees. Like, he is fully, I mean, he almost feels like a boy in that moment. Like his younger self, just, like, finally crying about it. Like,
and, like, facing that part of him, because, like, he's been emotionally stunted since he was, like, what, like 8, 9, like, whenever his emotions were taken away. So now he's reliving all of the, like, the years post killing his father. So it's like, imagine what he's experiencing, because I'm sure he was a ruthless leader as well. So I don't know, it's just, it was a lot.
And even though you could say he's kind of like a child in that scene, he's not. It's done in such a like respectful, beautiful way. He's not undermined at all. In fact, I would say he comes out of that feeling stronger because he's finally letting himself live, through that. And it's just so beautiful how she gives him the space that he needs to experience that.
Yeah.
And she kneels with him. And he says that he doesn't blame his father anymore. And basically, like, as he's crying, he's kind of like, when will the suffering end?
I know.
And he repeats that, and she grabs his hand. And, well, at first he's kind of like, he holds his hand in front of his face, kind of like to hide. But she grabs his hand and they hold hand and then they hug. And
her comforting him was so good. I loved it.
It's just
such a turning point. Yeah, it was such a turning point for them.
I wish men were allowed to do that more often. I really do.
I do feel like crying and like actually experiencing your emotions is not really like a is it Western? It's not really a Western thing, sadly. And it's just like you see it so many times in, like, for example, like in Indian shows, because I watch those Indian films and like Korean shows, Chinese shows. Like I feel like it's a thing that like it's a norm. Like you should be able to feel your emotions, but we have this idea of like a macho man that they don't feel their emotions, and like I feel like it's time to break that. And it's like it's high time.
Well, yeah, I feel like anything that's female gaze and I feel like anything that's not Western tends to go for the female gaze a lot more or does it a lot better.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, a lot of the stories that we have here in the Western world, it's like they'll try to do the female gaze, but they'll fucking do it wrong, or they won't do it justice, or they'll break it before it can have the like cathartic effect that it's supposed to have.
Yeah.
I'm trying very hard not to name things and anyways.
Yep.
But yeah, it's yeah. I'm sad that that's not a thing.
But hey, we get a lot more opportunities to see that in other languages and other shows, so.
Yeah. So following this, because this episode is not over, believe it or not. We get what I like to call the art of the smile, which is basically Xing Sang goes to Lan Hua and
that was so cute. Oh my gosh.
She's basically teaching him how to smile, like because he wants to smile, but he's like, I don't know how.
He did the scene so well.
And so she teaches him how to smile, and then he does this blood ritual thing where basically in the Moon Tribe, when you want to thank someone, you put your blood on their cheek.
I love
that's
that moment.
Supposed to, and I fucking loved it because she's like, ew, and then and then she's like, can I do it myself? Because like he's getting a little too close and she's getting a little shy.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, it's the first time I've ever, thanking someone. Like, and you're gonna take that chance away from me.
Yeah.
No, but what I also love, it's like he respects her and he's like, relax, it's not actually blood. It was something else. But
he was like, I knew you wouldn't like it if it was blood, so it's like lipstick or some shit. I don't know.
I love him.
I know.
He was perfect.
And like when his eyes, like I'm again speaking about Dylan Wang, like he's perfected, like, like that saying, like his eyes warmed, like you can tell when his eyes are warm, and it's just like,
yeah, just like he can change his face so that it looks soft without actually really changing anything.
Exactly.
It's just the emotion comes through in his eyes only, and it's just like, he's soft in that moment. Like he's, like you said, like he becomes warm without actually changing anything.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do. Yeah. That episode basically ends with his hand on her cheek.
And then episode 19 starts with this man saying,
fucking ruining it.
He literally ruins it. He's like, you know what? I need you to be happy, and that means killing everyone that's ever hurt you, and that means killing all the fairies.
Dumbass.
And she's like, whoa, that's not what I want.
Oh my god.
But that was so romantic, though. He wants to kill everybody for her.
I know, I loved it. Kill them. They're all bullies.
It's such a trope, though. Like, I just finished another Chinese book where basically it was the same thing. Like, the demon guy was like, so you never smile when you're with me, but you smile when you're with other people. Therefore, I will kill everyone in the world so that you only have me and you will have to smile.
I love that.
I love that.
Of course you fucking do, you psycho.
That is so romantic.
No, but that's cute.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like, yeah, I'll commit genocide so that you have to choose me and you can only smile and you can't smile to anyone else but me.
Well, yes, that is what he's offering here to Lanhua.
Yeah.
He's holding on to his original plan. So we've made some emotional work, just not the whole.
Not all of it. Still got an uphill battle here.
Still fighting it, yeah. Changhang is imprisoned.
Yes, he's locked up in the tower where we first found Shinsong.
And he refuses to apologize for loving Lanhua.
This poor guy.
Yeah, and he's told also in this scene by what was her name? The girl that he's totally gonna end up with, but
Daenin
Dayan or something, yeah. Dayan. Her. She tells him, because she's seen a couple episodes back the vision from the tree.
Yes.
Right, that we know is gonna happen. So she tells him about it here, and that kind of like, because at first he's just like, let me here and I'll just die here, like I refuse to apologize, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And she is obviously in love with him and she wants him to keep fighting, and you know what, at first I didn't like her, but now I'm like, you know what, respect for, like, she loves him enough that she's okay with seeing him love someone else.
And Changhang has a little, he's lost a few points when he's like, you've never experienced this love, so you can't tell me anything. I was like, she actually has. She has.
I mean, how would he know?
How would he know? He didn't know.
No, I know, but it's like the way that he like would talk to her. I was like, can you chillax? Just leave her alone.
He's stuck in his pain.
I
know, and I feel so bad. Okay, yeah.
So what he does, is it in this?
Yeah, it's in this episode.
Right. Yeah. So what he does, he jumps into, I don't remember what it's called.
First, the fairy tells him, like, I saw that you do marry her, but like it was a mortal wedding. So then that's why he decides to jump into that portal that takes him to the human world, and thus starts
basically what it does is that it reincarnates him.
Yes, and that took me a while to figure out.
Yeah, so it's not the same as Lanhua and Shinsong, who go to the mortal realm as themselves. Here, what he is doing is that he's literally reincarnated as a mortal, where he has to go through, and this is like a huge thing in all these novels all the time, he has to go through the like 7 mortal tribulations, or whatever they call them, like sufferings, or there's a name for it. Hardships. Hardships, yeah. I don't remember what they are, but it's like losing someone you love, hating someone, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it's like part of the religion. So he's going to that world to experience that. So he's literally reborn and he now has to experience all of those hardships.
I saw that scene and I was like, this man loves her that much. This much to go through this uncertainty. Like he doesn't know where he'll end up. He doesn't know what'll happen to him. He doesn't even know if she'll just end up there.
He literally abandons everything for her.
So like, how do you not root for him? It's just like, my heart broke. Because I'm fully on team, Shinsong at this point.
But are there people that are not like rooting for him?
I don't know. I empathize with him. I just I think it's enough. Like enough's enough at this point. Like I know you love her, but he doesn't know. Actually, he doesn't know about Shinsong and her. So
I feel conflicted about his character because I'm sure he's supposed to like embody something. Like, I'm sure we're not supposed to like him.
I don't think
he
so.
probably represents like a different kind of love that like is not, or a different kind of men that is not what is right for Lanhua. Like symbolically, I'm sure he represents something, but the way that he was written and just the actor who portrays him is just, it wasn't gonna work out if you want me to not like him.
For me, it's the lack of confronting her and asking her about her emotions. That's my thing. It's like you're doing all this without even knowing if she loves you. Like you're going through all this, throughout all this effort.
Okay, so wait, you're saying you don't like him at this point?
No, I like him, but it's like this is the one thing that's like I can kind of see why people wouldn't root for him. It's like he's not even taking her own feelings into account. It's more
was
like
he not told? Me. I thought he was told by someone at some point, like pretty early on, that like Lanhua obviously was in love with him, or I mean, thought she was.
I think it was more so like they think it was like a little crush.
Well, I mean, you don't need the other person to love you for you to love them, obviously. True. Because the girl jumps right after him. She's like, if he's going there, I love him so much that I will do that for him, and I will accompany him through these hardships. So, you know, she does the same thing. Lanhua and Shinsong have a fight, which again was a great fucking moment.
The one by the tree with the snow? That one?
Oh, in the cave.
Gosh. Had my tears. They were ready.
The music, guys. The music, the cinematography, the snow falling. Basically the one where she says, he tells her that she's the most important person to him. And she sort of pulls away and she starts saying that basically like there's too much of a gap between them. Like the gap between them is too wide, that she's just a fairy and he's still the Moon Supreme, and that, you know, there's obviously still a war in between them, that he still wants to kill her people, that she can't stand for that.
Is this where he asked her, like, can you not give up the fairy tribe for me? That scene?
And then, he asks her if you can give up, like, he's like, if she can give up her people for him, and she asks if he can give up his mission and his promise to his father for her. And
the answer is no.
Yeah, because they're both on opposing sides. They have different views. They have different, end goals. And also here was when she also reiterated, like, she doesn't even know who she is. Like, she doesn't know what she is.
Mm-hmm. There's two instances here and then a little bit later on where we're reminded that they're enemies, because I feel like the show did a great job of actually making you sort of forget that they are, just, and not like in a like, oh, we kind of forgot, like, you know, bad plotting type of thing, but actually like great character work or great emotional work, because you feel so much of like what's happening between them and you want them to be together, and like they have this budding friendship happening that you actually do forget, like there is this war that kind of separates them and puts them on opposite sides. So I actually love that we are reminded in this scene, like, actually don't forget, like, we're enemies. We're still enemies at this point, and like neither of us is ready to give up to join the other's side. So yeah, I do really love this moment. It was very romantic.
How do you think this is gonna play out? Like, how do you think this is gonna play out?
Well, like, obviously he has to be the one to give in.
Obviously. I don't see him doing that though.
I mean, and Hurt People is not like squeaky clean either.
No,
I have to say.
They're not. But she obviously doesn't see that side of them. She's very
much
like...
They should just go rogue.
I agree.
They should choose the third path and go rogue.
I just feel like the Moon Tribe, like, I think they're cool, and I feel like I think we should side with them. But also I don't think massacring a whole population is the best way to go. But we'll see what happens.
I think they should unfreeze his soldiers, just because, like, you know, for the women in that one episode that were like, our sons, our fathers, etc., like, unfreeze them and let them go back to their families. But let's not attack. Let's just call it, you know, say peace and... You know?
What is the end goal, though? So, like, if the fairy people, if they win the war, what do they get? And then if the Moon Tribe win the war, what do they get?
I think it's an issue of pride. I think it's literally just that. Like, the father was saying, like, you have to, like, we were shamed 30,000 years before or whatnot. And, like, you have to gain back what was taken from us in terms of like our pride. I think
Okay.
he's literally just wanting to massacre them to say like, you didn't defeat us.
Okay.
I think so. Anyway, that's kind of what I understood.
All right.
So and episode 19 ends with Shinsong and Lanhua going to the immortal realm as well, but they are not reincarnated. This is their immortal selves traveling to the mortal world, which is different.
Well, Shinsong goes with his dragon boy, and then Jelly and Lanhua go because they're like, "What the heck? Why are they going?" And Lanhua basically has like a feeling that there's more to the story.
Because something went wrong with the baby's spirit, which the baby that they thought was the reincarnation, which I'm guessing is not the reincarnation, and that's why it went wrong.
It is. So basically, the baby so they read the Destiny book, and then they're like, it's this person. Baby was born, but then they're like, the baby hasn't experienced the hardships yet. So until the person experiences a hardship, can they like extract the primordial spirit and then do what they need to do?
So that baby grew up to be
the woman.
Okay.
The courtesan.
The chitty woman or whatever.
Yeah,
chitty woman reincarnated.
Yeah, it's just I called her the courtesan because I don't know what else to call her.
Yeah, I don't remember
dancer,
her
right?
name
The
either.
one that dances.
Yeah, her.
Yeah. Episode 20. So they hear about this brothel, which has this famous courtesan woman. So they go.
Is it a brothel though? Is it really?
I thought it was, yeah.
That's
I thought it was just like a performing arts center where, you know.
No,
so basically,
I think it's a brothel.
Yeah, that's how I like it's okay. In like Indian culture back in the day, it's kind of the similar thing where like they dance to entertain the men, and then the men, like whoever pays the highest price, they get her for the night. So that's the same thing here, I'm assuming.
I thought it was all innocent.
Why do you think
censorship? That's why.
Like his like reincarnation, his reincarnation. What was his name? It was like something. Anyways, like his father was like, you'll never marry her. His reincarnation.
Wasn't it like Shao La or something? Something like that.
I think it was Shao Run. Anyways, his dad was like, you are not marrying her because she was a courtesan.
Yeah. So yeah, turns out here he is, our mortal Shanghang. He's here.
He's a player.
He is a player in this world, in this life, which is funny because he was such like a prince by the book before.
Yeah.
He's a fucking dumbass. He is literally a himbo.
Yes.
Like, literally. We love to see it. It's fun because you get to see like a different personality, like a different side of that actor.
And he acted this part really well.
I love this show for giving us that. Like every character has like different personalities at one point. Even the woman that loves him, whose name we keep messing up, she's a man in this life. So now like the same actress is playing as a guy. Yeah. And he's playing a total himbo, stupid ass dude that just looks really good and is a total player.
The duality here, it was really done well.
It's really cool. Everyone's really good.
But it took me so long to figure out that they were reincarnated. I was like, wait, what's going on? Are they pretending to be these people? What's going on? So it took me a while, so I probably missed a lot of things that happened until I figured out that they were reincarnated.
Dragon Boy and Shinsong have they're fucking clueless. They're fucking clueless.
That scene was so funny. Yeah.
The two of them talking to each other about feeling weird as of late.
Yeah, having weird feelings.
They're like, there's a little pity patter in my heart, and I kind of feel weird. I don't know what this is.
They're so dumb, but I love it.
They're so dumb. They're one brain cell, literally.
Yeah. I don't even know if they have that much.
Yeah. Like, I mean, after 30,000 years, honestly, you can't blame them for being a little stupid. But, they don't realize that what they're feeling and why they're feeling so weird in the presence of their women of late is that they're in love.
Yes.
Idiots.
As, how are you feeling about Dragon Boy and Jelly?
Right.
I like it. It's cute. Yeah. But then I'm a little confused because later on, you know how it shows like she has a connection with the brother.
Oh, you mean the fairy girl that reincarnated into a guy.
I was a little puzzled by that because at first I thought, is it because she recognizes her?
Yeah.
I thought she was recognizing like that she was seeing the fairy like woman version of her in him, and that's why she was kind of intrigued. But I don't think that was it. And then I was like, are they like sisters? Because at one point she says, someone says, oh, that's because he's my brother. And then she says, oh, yeah, that's because we're brothers too, or something like that. And I was like, is she trying to like say that they're sisters in the fairy world? I don't know. I was real confused by that whole situation.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't think it was that important, or maybe it is and it will come back. I don't know what the whole thing was about. Yeah. Especially because Dragon Boy is right there. Like, come on.
I know.
Like, you had a thing going.
I'm sorry. I love Dragon Boy and her. I think they're so cute. They have, like, the right level of angst, too, so that, like, they don't overshadow the main couple, but, like, they also don't, like, disappear with the main couple beside them.
They're an interesting dynamic because she's kind of like the thief that, like, has never really allowed herself to like get attached to anyone because of her way of life, and then here he's like the cute, loving, trusting boyfriend.
He's so cute.
So it's a nice, like, you know, reversal of like what we're used to.
Right.
We get the Lantern Festival, and everyone's so unhappy. Well, mostly Lanhua and Shinsong. Because...
Wait, what episode's the lantern?
Well, there's the Lantern Festival where they actually, like, set off the lanterns in the sky. That's later. But here, I think they called it the Lantern Festival, but there's no, like, lanterns happening. It's the night where the Chitty woman is supposed to meet Mr. Right and everything.
Well, basically what happens, they're living life. It's time for the performance to happen, and they get in with paying gold, and they get there, and the Lanhua basically sees Changhang, and she's like, oh shit, Shinsong cannot see him. What do I do? So she literally acts so weird, and she like pretends to lose her bangle, and then things happen, and I don't recall, do they notice that Changhang is there? Changhang, sorry, like his reincarnation.
I think it's Changhang.
Changhang.
Do they notice that what?
That he's there.
Not until the next episode, I
Not
think.
till the next one, yeah.
What do you mean? Do they notice he's there?
Like,
yeah, they do.
No, I know like Lanhua sees him, but does Shinsong see him?
I think he knows by this point. Because remember afterwards when he catches her, isn't that...
No, I think in the next one, because remember he's up on the roof and he looks out and he kind of sees out. She's running towards someone and he notices him on the floor.
So I think he finds out later on. I don't know if he finds out in this episode. They're all bidding on who spends the night with her, and then is it Shaola? Whatever. Changhang's reincarnation wins with like this rare tree, and he spends the time with her, but like there's no sparks. No sparks are flown. And that's when, she overhears Rong Hao, and then she talks about like she dreams of this man that plays the flute, and then she hears it.
Well, she says she's been waiting for something. Like, she feels like her whole life she was waiting for something, but she didn't know what it was. And then she hears the sound of the flute. Like, she didn't actually say, oh, I was waiting for a man who plays the flute. Like, she didn't even know what it was. And then suddenly, the moment she hears it, she knows that that's what it was.
Yeah.
I just want to know, Miss Angst over there, like, how did you feel about that? Because I kind of felt the angst.
I felt the angst, too. I'm like, I want to see how this plays out, but I was really like, I was feeling it so hard.
Well, anyway, it made me invested in this ship kind of low-key, okay?
No, I was going to say, and like the tune he plays is so sad.
It's beautiful. I love that sound. I really do.
Me too. It sounded good. Az, how do you feel about Rong Hao? I feel like you had no opinions on him.
Yeah, I don't care for him. I don't care.
Our kind of villain. I don't care.
Yeah, no. Not for that villain. No. We can move on.
Okay, let's move on. Episode 21. So she sees someone on the roof. This is the scene you're talking about, right?
Jinsung literally, what a fucking dumbass. One brain cell, tell you. He literally completes the fucking prophecy or whatever you want to call it unknowingly. I'm like, dude, do not stop her from drinking it. Because, like, she's about to drink this thing. And, like, Mr. Right, according to this prophecy, is supposed to appear and, like, stop her from killing herself. And obviously he's on that roof and Changhang is elsewhere with Lanhua, and so that's not happening. And so he's seeing that she's about to drink it and he fucking poofs into the room and like stops her from doing it. And I was like, you dumbass.
Okay, but see, this is how I saw it. So like also Changhang was supposed to meet his like Mrs. Right as well. And he met Lanhua, and this kind of goes back to the whole like she's the goddess for him. And he did meet her, so yeah.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like, I felt the same. I was like, okay, clearly that's what that was supposed to be.
But can I just say, I love that she had her, like, soulmate, and I know she'll choose the villain. She'll choose the villain.
Because I don't think her soulmate was...
No, I mean in the sense where, like, who she's supposed to marry, who she's supposed to choose, that it's been prophesized. No, she chooses the villain instead, and I love it.
That just makes me feel even worse for Changhang because she really was his fated love. Literally.
Like I believe that's what I assumed with all the flashbacks, like which we get in episode 21, where we get like Rong Hao's like perspective on things. That's how I perceived it to be. Like she is that goddess he was supposed to marry.
Like the gods have literally tied that red string of fate, which is why he's always pursued her, always loved her, always will. And so I feel really sad, and I hope he can find joy and love with that other fairy girl.
I hope so too, and I'm praying he does. So we'll see.
Anyways, so that happens, and Shinsong stops. Well, I guess puts himself with like literally transports himself as in a protagonist role in this prophecy, where this woman now is in love with him. She thinks that he's the man that she loves, and we find ourselves in a bit of a conundrum because now the two people that were supposed to be together are now in love with our protagonists.
Anyways, they decide to make a plan to get these two to meet and get the prophecy like back on track.
Rectify the fates.
Mm-hmm. What is their plan, basically?
What is their plan? Is there a fucking plan, or is it just utter chaos?
Stupid.
It was so bad from the start. I mean, and I don't even know like how to describe it because it changes every 5 minutes because they're like, nope, that was the wrong move. Oh, no, that was also the wrong move. We're just digging ourselves deeper and deeper into this fucking hole.
Anyways, they had this idea for, like, the girls to go off and, like, you know, have a friendship with the courtesan, and then the boys were gonna, like, go to school and get to know
What was that? You have this old-ass godly man going back to school. I was like, what is going on?
And it was just so funny seeing him in a school setting. I was like, ugh. And then he gets kicked out. And then him and Changhang, like, randomly bond.
Changhang literally becomes, like, a fanboy.
I was so like, adorable.
If Changhang could, like, past, like, fairy Changhang could see himself, I think
he would have had a heart
jump
attack.
off a bridge. Yeah, he would just... But he's a total fanboy. Shinsung does not know what to do with him, quite frankly, because their whole plan is like basically to lure them back together because they're like, well, they didn't meet on the night of, but as long as they get married on that specific day, it should be fine.
Yes.
So fanboy Changhang is him and Shinsung, as you said, get kicked out of school, and then so they go to this spot where people play football, soccer if you're American, and so they start playing football, which I was like, it's kind of cute because obviously Shinsung, you know, he has a whole history with this.
Yeah. But I'm hoping like this like has like a bigger purpose. Like I hope like once they regain their memories, if that happens, that like You know, like this bond is still there. Like they have the memories there, and I'm praying that this friendship prospers.
Two things. A, I want them to be besties so fucking bad.
Me too.
Like, sorry to you, Dragon Boy, but like you're gonna have to be number 2 because like this friendship, I need it.
Okay, but I love Dragon Boy. I'm okay with like a three man friendship.
Threesome.
A three. Oh, yes.
Innocent one.
Not so innocent one. I'm down for too. Bonus points if Dragon Boy is a dragon.
Well, he's a big ass dragon. That ain't gonna fit nowhere.
Oh, true. Okay, never mind. I revoke that.
Anyways, my second point was, in an innocent way, I do want them to be besties. In a not so innocent way, I do have a bit of a crack ship going.
Girl, I felt that too. Explain.
You know that moment when, is it in this episode where Chung-hong is on the ground with his cheek on Shin-sung's thigh?
I think it was the next episode, but this episode...
I don't know. Listen, I felt the sparks a little. Like, there was some tension, and I was like, you know what? These two men just need to fuck it out. Like, they just...
When he put the little ointment on his
That scene I'm talking about. Yeah. It was so cute, and I love how, like, awkward Shin-sung felt, and I was like...
He got all shy.
I was like, what is this? What's going on here? I love it. Anyway, I appreciated, and I will take it away as my crack ship. It is in my pocket forever.
No, I loved it. I was on board. I'm on board with that crack ship. Yeah,
and not only that, but this episode also has one of my favorite fucking moments, which is, remember that Lan Hua was literally teaching him how to smile?
Yes.
And then I love that. First we get a flashback to her teaching him once again during the I think it was during the Lantern Festival, like how to smile again. And he's got that soft, warm look, as you put it, in his eyes after that. But all this to say, I just love that his second attempt at a smile after that was for Chung-hong. Like, my man, this villain, this is his enemy. Like, he knows who this man is. And yet, here he is, smiling for his enemy. This soft-ass, awkward little smile. Because, I don't know why, but I loved it.
Well, I think he thought that he had to, like, win him over, but I also feel like it was a genuine moment.
It was a genuine smile. I don't think it was, like, him trying to be like, oh, maybe I should smile here. It was like, no, I think he wanted to smile.
I honestly feel like they would have been friends if, you know, they weren't on opposing sides.
Yeah.
And also
if they didn't like the
same woman.
Yeah. Anyway, I screamed. Episode 22.
So basically, Lan Hua sees the rubbing the ointment, not rubbing something else. And we get Rong Hao's perspective here, and we go back 30,000 years ago when the chitty woman, I don't know what her actual name is because that's what the translation gave us. He took her body to the Tai Su, which is like the embodiment of evil and darkness, and like he's a demon without a body or something. That's what I perceived it as.
Oh,
the same as the same person God he was brought to by his own the woman who works for him.
Right. So he is like, we get like kind of like his whole purpose here. We find out that he ends up doing all of this to bring her back, which we already know, but he has to kill this goddess to resurrect her or something is what I got. And then we get a flashback to this goddess, whoever he has to kill, and he's massacred all of her people. This is all like I don't know what they're called. How did you pronounce it again?
Oh, I'm pretty sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly, but yeah.
Anyways, they were massacred, and so with them, obviously, like, they all died. And we see that her parents, the child that, you know, is supposedly prophesized to do all of this and also destroy Taisu is what I'm assuming. Her parents locked away her powers and took away her memories and made her think that she was just, you know, what she was. And, so that's, like, the end of that flash. No, it wasn't the end of the flashback. We go back to, like, the flashback 30,000 years ago. I was so confused. I kept her
Well, not only that, but they cultivate her back down to a flower.
Yes. So basically, we realize that is Lan Hua.
That is Lan Hua. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have we're back 30,000 years into the past, and we see that Taisu, he promises to preserve the Chitty woman's body with his evil spirit. But Rong Hao will need to send her to the mortal world to experience hardship. But during that time, he needs to continue to feed this evil spirit all these powers. I don't know. Souls. I don't know. And so his body, Taisu's body was destroyed, but he still lives. And now it's really well apparent that Rong Hao is working with him to just resurrect his goddess, and he doesn't care what happens to him. He's just full on just doing this for her.
So basically a lot of the backstory for the villain, his motives, why he's doing what he's doing. Also, I feel like it sort of explained for me a lot of his weird interactions with her to begin with.
Does he know it's her though?
I think so. I don't know. That's still a question mark. But I was like, maybe that's why he was acting a little weird, because I don't think that the whole reason why he was trying to kill her was just because Chin Song was in her. I wish he was. But when they switch bodies, I don't know.
Because he could have killed her in so many instances. He could have even just went to her Arbiter Hall and just killed her there if he knew that it was her. So I think her powers are locked up that much that you don't recognize who she is. No one will be able to tell who she is.
Yeah, maybe. You're probably right. I don't know. At the time I was like, oh, so that's why. But now that you say that, I'm like, yeah, maybe not.
Anyways, we're cut to present day, and we are back in the mortal world. And what's happening there, guys?
The fucking plan is getting worse and worse by the minute. By the minute. The chaos cannot be unraveled at this point.
They just they don't even have us. They're following Jelly. Let's be honest. They're following Jelly, who's making up these plans on the fly, and just yeah, we'll do this.
Yeah.
So basically, they end up at a restaurant. Lan Hua goes off with the Chitty woman reincarnation, and Shin Song is off with Chong Hong's reincarnation, and they're bonding. Chong Hong is drunk AF. It was so funny. This is where he's resting his head, and then on his shoulder, his thigh, literally he's just drunk man, just doing whatever he wants. Lan Hua basically figures out that the Chitty woman is in love with Shin Song, and she's kind of feeling a type of way, and this is kind of us seeing that she's a bit jealous. And then what does Chong Hong do, guys? What does he do?
Oh boy. So my man is a certified lover boy, and once he's got his sights on a woman, he has his sights on a woman. And what he does, and I fucking love that he does that. You guys obviously won't get why, but anyone who's interested in eternal faith or Heaven Official's Blessing or TCGF, whatever you want to call it, you'll know why this is such a good moment. But anyways, what he does is he paints this huge fresque or image portrait of...
He doesn't just paint one though.
No, he doesn't paint just one.
He paints 1,000,000 and puts it all over the city.
But he paints this huge one that he has, in that restaurant, that he unfolds at the restaurant, and he declares his love in front of everyone and their mother, and he's like, this is the woman that I love, and so if you find her, basically bring her back to me, sort of thing. It's kind of like those pictures where it's wanted, but it's wanted to marry, not for prison.
Yes. And who sees this picture first? Who sees it? Shin-sung.
Yeah.
Is it him first? Yeah.
I think he's there, and he is so jealous. He's livid. He is angry, and it was so funny to see.
Obviously, Lan Hua also sees it eventually.
Yes.
It's just such a fucking mess. Anyways, they both freak out. and they go back to their respective like rooms, and it just so happens that at the same time they need like alcohol, but like really they just need a fucking minute to gather themselves. They're like, this is a mess. And obviously Ching Song and Lan Hua collide into one another, find each other, and they're so pissed at each other because it's like, how come we've let things get this bad?
Yeah. How did you let her fall in love with you? How did you let that picture go up? Like, it was just
They're
intense.
so jealous. I love it.
They were so jealous.
And then the two people that are in love with them start looking for them because they're taking a little too long. And both of them are like running around trying to hide. They're not ready to see them. And especially like Lan Hua doesn't want to be seen by Chang Hong. And then Chin Sung doesn't want to be seen by the chitty woman. Anyways, all this to say, they end up in a
closet / cupboard.
Chest, cupboard of sorts.
Guys, the way he gripped her mouth.
Yes!
I fucking know. I
yelled.
know.
I yelled out.
I died.
I hit replay so many times, it's a little embarrassing.
Same.
I just need them to have a hot makeout sesh, and like, I know I won't get it, but it's just like, ugh, I need fix. I need
smutty ass fix.
Yes.
Like, please. Like, I get it. He's soft and cute and sweet with her, but please let my man have some rough ass sex because he deserves it.
You
know
dominant.
He wants to.
He is so dominant, and like, I can see this. I can see it.
You know his dick was hard when he was grabbing her like that.
There's no fix out there yet?
I haven't really gone looking at because I don't want to see spoilers. But I think after I'm on the show, I'll go looking.
Anyways, that scene was fucking amazing, and just the way he's like so close to her, and he's like, keep quiet.
And he's not giving her space.
I tingled a little everywhere.
Oh gosh. And I love how she's like, you go find somewhere else. He's like, I found this place first. You go. Like, they're such children.
Episode 23 is just
hilarious.
Jealousy. Nonstop jealousy. Because they do not manage to escape, and in fact, the chitty woman does see Chin Song, and Chang Hong does see Lan Hua, and now they're in a very precarious situation where the ones that are obsessed with them have found them. Basically, Chang Hong is now borderline courting Lan Hua because he's, he has it in his head that he's gonna marry her.
Yes.
And so Chin Song is serving fucking jealousy. Oh.
So jealous.
Jelly comes up with the worst fucking plan yet again. She's like, maybe if we put really bad makeup, like, if
you just seem very unattractive.
Yeah, maybe he'll like stop liking you. And I love that Chin Song just like becomes a beauty guru in that moment.
It's not ugly enough.
Not ugly enough. He's like, let me do it. So she's looking a wreck, poor girl, I gotta say. But she goes to find
wait, he packs her a little bag of food.
He puts it around her neck.
I love little moments like that.
No, so I think he packed it, like, he put it around her neck to make her seem like she's gluttonous, or was it for a snack later?
No, I really think it was a snack for later.
Yeah.
That's how I saw it.
I didn't see it like that.
He was just worried she would be hungry for some reason.
It was so cute, whatever it was. But can I just say, I legit almost peed my pants laughing. That whole sequence of, like, when she's trying to, like, deter Chang Hong away from her, it was just so funny. And then, like, Shin Song kept getting jealous and more jealous and more jealous, and he's like, ugh, gotta go.
Yeah. I was getting whiplash, not gonna lie, because obviously it's really funny, but you also sort of feel for Chang Hong in that moment, just because, like, he's getting his little heart ripped out a little.
I know.
Because what the fuck does Chang Hong, what the fuck does Jing Song do?
He basically comes up out of nowhere And then as they're on the floor, he can't handle, her shoes are off, and like Chong Hong is on the floor too, massaging his feet. He's like, this is it, I'm done. He goes, and then he's like, oh, this is my wife, my pregnant wife.
Because just wife wasn't enough, it's just pregnant.
I love a possessive man.
And then we had a fight.
Died. I died.
I did feel bad for him here.
Yeah, me too. He was so heartbroken.
Conflicted emotions, like I said. Like, yeah, because you feel for him, but at the same time, you're like levitating in your chair because you're like, Shinsong is being so fucking soft, and like you're seeing him call her honey and like being so loving towards her, and like a loving husband who's like, you know, taking care of his pregnant wife. I was like, what is going on?
And she's like, what are you doing? Shut up. Like, shut up. What are you doing?
Yeah, she's so panicking. Funny. The way he fucking snatched the portrait out of Chung Hong's hand like a petty ass little bitch. I was like, oh my god.
So funny.
And the music is so sad because obviously like Chung Hong is like, you know, heartbroken. But just I replayed the scene of just him snatching it away because I was like, what is this? This is so funny. Anyways, great episode.
It was great. And then that was followed by the lantern scene. This is the one that I remember.
The lantern scene,
yeah. So they write their wish on the lantern. Yeah. She asks him first, like, oh, because she's, you know, all happy, you know. And she asks him, like, oh, what's your wish? And like a dumbass, he's like, oh, it's to kill all of your people.
Ugh,
like, what did you think that was going to achieve, my dude? Like, did you think she was going to fall in love or something? Like, congratulate you? Like, so anyway, that really sours the mood. But they both write their wish, and his actual wish is,
guys, he wishes that she stays with him forever.
Yeah.
And then hers, like, okay, I love how they did it. So like he wished that, and then right after she says that even though she can't stay with him forever, she wishes that he'll never be alone and like be loved and be happy. And I'm like,
but that is like so them, their responses to that.
But I love how it's opposites, literally. You know, like he's very much like in denial that like they can somehow make it work, you know, with the way things are, and that she'll stay with him forever, and that she'll like come to her senses and realize that killing off all her people isn't that bad, actually.
Do you think they'll have a moment where they'll switch, where he'll be like selfless and like let her go, and then she'll be like, all like,
oh no, yeah.
I don't think she'll be like, I think she'll stay as she is because she doesn't need to make that switch, but he will become selfless at some point. Of course, he'll have to you know, make the grand gesture of selflessness.
I saw like their wishes as like obviously yes, for him wishing for her to stay forever with him, but also for him his happiness and his like love is her, so he wishes for her to stay with him forever. And I'm like, their wishes don't align even then.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Chung Hong has a broken heart, and he's like, well, I guess there's nothing left in the city for me. I'm leaving. See ya.
Bye.
Hops on a horse, and he gets stopped by Lanhua, Chinsong, and Jelly.
And Dragon Boy. What was Jelly's amazing plan? Please tell us.
That supposedly it was a test.
And that what?
And that Orchid and Devil, that they're supposedly siblings, they're brother and sister, and that
and
it was a
both
test
looked
to
at
see
her with death stares.
What his reaction was gonna be, and I guess he passed.
I swear to God, if every other character has one brain cell, she has none.
But to be honest, she did get him to stay.
What was that plan, though?
She made it on the fly.
She made it really awkward.
They butchered.
It's chaotic.
They butchered her plans, okay?
Yeah.
It's awful. Things have never been worse.
I know.
Like, if you think... It's funny, because for the past 3 episodes, it's just going down the drain, and you're like, it can't possibly be worse than this. Like, this is the bad situation that they've. It's
and
chaotic.
Then it gets worse.
And then it gets worse, and you're like, wow, how are they gonna get out of this one? I really don't know.
And was that the end of 20? Is that 23?
Wait. That scene ends with Chang Hong being like, Lan Hua, I will make you the happiest woman. I will give you everything you ever wanted. I'll make you so happy. And literally Jin Song like snaps and he's like, get lost enough. Like he can't freaking bear it anymore. Like to see Chang Hong being this happy and like courting his woman.
And I love how Chang Hong is like, I get it. You're an overprotective brother. You love your sister that much. I'll stay back now.
Yeah. Oh, and important. Actually, before the end of the episode, we get like a very brief scene with Jin Song just like walking, and it's just his thoughts. And he says, I have the same feeling. And he's referring to when Chang Hong said, I feel empty. After Jin Song was like, oh, we're married. And he realized he couldn't have Lan Hua. Chang Hong said, I feel empty. And so we get this scene of Jin Song walking and just thinking, I have that same feeling. And then he says, is this love? And that is the first time that he acknowledges, is this love? Am I in love with her? And I was like, oh my God, this is momentous.
And then episode 24 was just a shit show. It was just a shit show.
Just double wedding shenanigans, like
jealousy all around, to the point where like I don't even know, like it was just so bad.
Basically, they're trying. Well, Jelly's new plan is like, well, they just have to get married. It doesn't say to who, as long as they switch. Now we're literally, we've made it to the wedding. They're trapped in this situation. And she's like, well, as long as you switch back before the wedding night.
Right. And we'll have a fake wedding. We'll just have two weddings.
Sake. But our boy is like, I will only ever marry the woman I love.
I know.
Jin Song is like, I ain't doing this. I love that. I love that he wasn't up for it, even though Lan Hua was like, okay, fine, I'll do it.
Yeah, it's a fake wedding. It doesn't matter. And I love how when he was saying that, he just looked right at Lan Hua and he was like, yeah. I'm only gonna marry the woman I love.
Yeah. So yeah. Basically, episode 24 is more or less Lan Hua forcing Jin Song to marry the chitty woman. Mm-hmm. And everybody has feelings for everybody.
Right.
Jelly comes up with the idea basically because Jin Song is like, how can I know how she feels? Because, now he's realized, like, maybe I'm in love, and, like, he wants to know what Lan Hua is feeling. Right. He's like, how do I know how she feels if she's, like, always being contradictory and, like, saying the opposite of what she actually, feels? Because he overhears Lan Hua talking to Jelly on purpose. Jelly arranged the whole thing. I swear to God, this woman. But anyway, overhears that, like, Lan Hua was like, I don't like him that way, blah, blah, blah. And that's why Jelly is like, well, women usually say the opposite of what they actually think. Right. So she comes up with this plan for him to remove his ring, which was tempering, the bond. Yeah. And to switch out Lan Hua's hairpin thing, which also cancels out her emotions so that he can't feel her. But what does he do?
He couldn't do it.
He couldn't do it. He respects her too much at this point. He respects her boundaries. That's what that is. Which is really important when you have an alpha male like this. Like, this is a key moment. Like, it's a small detail, but it's so important, speaks volume that he's like, I have to respect this one boundary. It's not fair to her that I forced her to reveal everything to me when she maybe doesn't want to. I want her. Like, that's really what's not said. Like, what's unsaid is that he wants her to tell him how she feels.
I love that scene. And I love, like, this is a character that had his agency taken away time and time again. And, like, he knows the importance of it. And, like, while he was going to do it, he, like, obviously took a step back. And he's like, I can't do it. I can't take away her agency. And I just love him. And I love his development that we've seen so far.
And then you see him underneath the tree, just chilling, fully bloomed.
The tree has fucking bloomed. Ah.
Love it.
It's such a short scene, but I was like, oh my god, the tree. His tree is fully recovered. It has flowers.
And he looks at peace with it too.
Yeah, he's just sitting under it, like pondering life. That made me so happy to see.
Me too.
So happy. But it has to be said that there's also the moment where she's taken a stroll, promenading, if you will, with Chang
with
Hong.
her betrothed.
Yeah, and he's trying to woo her. But unfortunately, everything he does reminds her of memories with Jinsong.
Yeah.
And she gets so sad. She's even teary-eyed. And Chang Hong, my poor himbo, completely misunderstands, like, what's going on.
I know.
And she runs to Jinsong, and I think, like, she's ready to tell him how she feels. Unfortunately.
He walks away, right? That he's gonna go watch the moon with other
he completely misunderstands her.
At this point, like, he saw her with Chang Hong in the garden, and he
misinterpreted the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, so she is in love with him and will never love me. And then he also reflects on, like, his past actions, and he's like, he's only ever been mean to her, so why would she ever love him?
So it's kind of sad because, you know from that moment on that, like, she realized that everything she thought she wanted was never going to be right for her. And that she loves Jinsung too much to settle for anyone else at this point. It's sad because now he's walking away.
And he's going on a little date with his future wife to watch the moon.
Yeah. Oh, he also says that she always smiles around Chang Hong, but never around him.
Yeah.
And he realizes, and that's important to note as well, he realizes the reason why that is because of how he treats her.
Right. No, that's,
we should mention that. Like, he realizes in that moment, the way he's been treating her, the way he's been handling the whole situation and forcing her into situations that are uncomfortable or that she doesn't want to be in, and etc., he realizes he's been wrong.
Yeah. Well, so. You just explained what I said, but it better. And anyways, so what happens is that the fairy... What?
That was so funny. I'm sorry. How does the fairy die?
The brother?
You're so mean.
He got ran over by a horse and carriage.
I
gasped.
Stop!
I fucking gasped. I wasn't expecting
nowhere.
that.
Yeah. No, it made me jump.
Yeah.
No, I gasped. I was like, no way that they're gonna kill her off.
Okay, but basically what led to this was that she overheard Shinsong and Lanhua's plan about, the prophecy needs to be fulfilled and he's supposed to kill his wife. And so she's like, I need to go tell my master. I need to go tell him. And then she gets hit by the horse.
Anyway, that was brutal. Like, just the shot of her face just, like, bleeding. I was like, fully in shock. Like, wow, they're gonna do her like that.
But
it's not funny, but it is.
Shocking.
I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, but she's not dead, actually.
No.
What happens is that she's just she gets back to the fairy realm. She's thrown back to the fairy realm into her immortal body. Obviously, she's more or less trialed because now she has helped a criminal to escape. Yes. And what happens with that, guys?
So she basically tells that annoying ass king who's Chong Hong's brother, the plans and how Shin Song and you know his spy Lan Hua are gonna set up Chong Hong, but also extract the primordial spirit in the Chitty woman's reincarnation. And the king is like, that's not gonna happen. You know what you gotta do? You gotta kill this woman. And then she knows that if she kills this woman, then Chong Hong will not fulfill his hardship, and that would mean he would not be reincarnated, and he would just die. So she's left in this predicament.
So basically, she's forced back there. She's forced on a mission she doesn't want to do, which is that.
Yeah.
Well, needless to say, I hope Golden Asshole on his throne gets the worst death of all of them.
He is so annoying.
He's so bad. Like, he is the villain. Like, I know we have a villain, but he is the villain because he's the one enforcing this messed up structure in which people have the fucking power to just rip out immortal bones, and for the stupidest thing, like loving someone, like it's your fault. You are the one enforcing that.
Yeah.
And you're sitting on your ass, dictating what's going to happen in everyone's life. Meanwhile, you're just fucking laughing. Like, I hate his guts. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think it's so interesting because, he is the leader of these fairy people, and then we have Shin Song, who's the leader of the Moon Tribe people, and like they're two polar opposites, and like the way they look at life is so different. And I just like you said, he is the true villain in the sense where, he sees things black and white and not even try to hear people out, and it's just like,
because when you think about it, like the Moon Tribe, yes. Shin Song's father had to like erase all emotions in Shin Song so that he could wield the hellfire. But like when you think about it, isn't it the same thing sort of happening on the other side as well, where you have this man who loves another fairy and he's forbidden from feeling his emotions for her, and he's supposed to repress them and go on living as if nothing? Like, isn't it the same kind of emotional manipulation happening? And like, everyone's stunted on both sides, and like, nobody's allowed to just like live the life that they want.
Yeah.
Love the person that they want. Like, it's both sides. Like, it's messed up. But it's just like, it's even more messed up, in my opinion, on the fairy side, because it's veiled as like this proper, way of life that has kept the fairies like safe for thousands of years. And
but it's also just like, it's more like it's said, it's stated, like, this and this needs to happen, whereas like I feel like in the Moon Tribe it's more so like we're doing this quote unquote for the greater good, and like things are done behind the scenes, whereas here the rules are very much laid out.
But things aren't veiled as something good. Things are in the Moon Tribe, like, it's not veiled as like, oh, we're doing a good thing, really. Like, the father knew it was horrible, but it's like, so I like that it's not as if it's like disguised, over there. Whereas with the fairies, I feel like it's disguised. It's like, oh, we can just rip out people's immortal bones because like it's for the greater good.
No,
I disguise it as such.
Yeah, I see it that way too, but I also see it like they have these set of rules that they have to follow, or else your bones get ripped out. And it's just like, it's more so like there's no like reasoning behind it. It's more so like you do this and this and this because we hate the Moon Tribe and we will not lose that war. Like, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I see it different. I see like there's a lack of empathy on the fairy people side, and then I'm not saying like Shin Song's dad was like a great guy, because he wasn't. He just did it like to give his son the best chance, and that's how he saw it, and that's how he did it.
So hopefully you enjoyed this little recap / discussion of episodes 17 to 24. Next episode, I believe it will be 25 to, I don't remember, do you remember?
31?
yeah, so I guess next episode will be 25 to 31. So go ahead and watch them if you haven't already. If you are looking for us, if you have anything you would like to add to our conversation, you have theories of your own or comments you want to make about something we said, feel free to find us online. As I said at the beginning, YouTube is a great place to do that. So always you can just search for the name of our podcast and it should pop up pretty quickly, like at the top. And of course, subscribe while you're on there. But otherwise, you can also find us on Instagram at Romance and Monsters Podcast at gmail.com. That's the email. Romance and Monsters Podcast on Instagram and the RTM Pod on Twitter. And if you're looking for me specifically, I'm on both Twitter and Instagram at Foes and Lovers.
And you can find me on both Instagram and Twitter at But This Book.
And you can find me, Seff, on both Instagram and Twitter at Pros with Woes.
And that's it. We'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.